We didn't get any warning notes before year 2020 started. I mean, the year started off very normal, like the year before and even the year before that. So at midnight on the 1st of January 2020, I was at the same place that I am on the 1st of everywhere. In church, we prayed and proclaimed by faith how good this year would be. And the next day, my mom took my sister and I out to a restaurant to eat, like she does, very often. You see, she's a very focused and passionate person and is trying to raise my sister and I to be like that. This means that beginning of every year, every session, even new terms, yes, quite often, she pretends she's taking us out on some mom and daughter's dates and drills us on our goals. So girls, what are your plans? Have you set your targets yet? These were the same questions that we answered in April 2019, and then in September 2019, then again on January 2nd, 2020. So yes, we had her number. Not wanting to be the lazy daughter, I had set goals for myself, very ambitious ones as a matter of fact. My sister too, as usual. In any case, we had no choice, and she was in an exam year, end of discussion. We knew this was not a year to slack off. By March though, the calm facade that 2020 approached us with started to come undone. COVID-19 had introduced itself across the world, and we discussed it in school, agreeing to wash our hands and generally be good defenders of our little space of the universe. Anything we could to make them think we're being sincere. We all expected it to just go away quickly and quietly within a few weeks. Clearly, our expectations were a bit infantile. In fact, school shut down, yet the panic hadn't set in. We were excited to be home. The longer the holidays, the better, right? Wrong. And then the holiday became first boring, then a sentence that kind of felt like we needed Michael Scofield to help us out, then a foretaste of hell. We had to change so many things. How we learned, attended church service, bought items in the stores. Now I can't even imagine a time when I didn't have to wear a mask to leave my house or come back from the supermarket without reaching under the sink for the disinfecting spray bottle. The Church of God has probably never faced as many issues as it has this year. Too many businesses have packed up globally. People have lost their jobs, and worst of all, people have died. People I knew personally have been and are still being taken away from their families. When I think of this becoming a norm in this society, the need within me to pray for the world to heal rushes back to me. Really, what has this year given to us? Everyone around me sees 2020 as a curse, the end of the world. But that's not all it has offered, is it? For me, this year has been an eye-opener. Life is short. Taking care of yourself is a necessity. Your loved ones aren't going to be there for you forever. This year has been a challenge. Yes, of course. It's been difficult to even maintain relationships with my friends, as it probably has for everyone else too. We had to get used to seeing each other through FaceTime, WhatsApp video calls. We learned to hang out virtually, even had a couple of shared movie nights on house party, and the number of games we played, chat groups we set up and then scattered. We had to learn to have more conversations through text messages, and we really weren't used to this idea. We had gotten used to seeing each other almost every day in school or in the boarding house, and were even able to go out together through the weekend. This virus severely hindered our plans. Our parents became so protective and wary, it was difficult to convince them to allow us to do anything, even when we promised to be cautious and wear our face masks like everything depended on it. It was a lost cause, and to be honest, none of us imagined we would be able to stay as close as we once were. Strangely enough, some of us are closer than ever, and I haven't lost one single friend. It brought us a resilience we likely may never have known we had. So how have we managed to keep ourselves sane? At a point, I think everyone realized we couldn't just sit back and wait for the virus to be done destroying. So we adopted a new way of living, not just in my community, not just in my country. You see, everyone has had to adapt. The world has become more of a global village, more than we could ever have imagined. We are all virtual conformists now. School is online, church is online, business meetings are online, even meeting up with friends is online. Even restaurants have taken to developing websites and delivery services. You see, even with all the restrictions and rules we had to abide by, we have found a way to make life work. Society has obviously not fully adjusted to everything that hits it, but we're still managing, still changing, and still thriving. I, for one, definitely had to rework the goals that I set for myself this year to accommodate my new situation. I worked very hard and earned a scholarship to the same school that my older sister picked from her many offers. As exhilarating as that was, I knew deep down it may not have been possible if I didn't have all the time that I did to myself. All the time that I utilized in reflecting, studying, and focusing. In April, I told myself I was going to try my best to lose at least 10 pounds, and I ended up losing 35. I have also found myself more determined than ever, willing to overcome the I don't care attitude I was used to. With everything 2020 has taken, has also given to those willing to adapt and still achieve. Although I know the world may never fully recover from the effects of the pandemic, the real question is, do we need to? Do we need to recover, or should we learn and move on? My mom always says, don't miss the lessons. I am positive we will continue to find ways to live life and live it to the fullest extent possible. Indeed, 2020 has been a roller coaster, and although I can't wait to see the end of it, I'm grateful that I'm still here.